PlayStation's All-Star Battle Royale. I am so excited for PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. And quite honestly, I'm surprised they didn't do this sooner. I mean, you take the best characters from Sony's franchises and you have them fight against each other. I mean, I personally can't wait for this game to be released. Now, if you're all wondering why you've never heard of Superbot Entertainment, it's because Sony created a whole new studio just to make this game. Now, obviously, there are going to be people that are going to compare PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale to Super Smash Bros. But even though Sony has gone in this direction, I don't think it takes away anything from the Super Smash Bros. Franchise. Now, I should mention at this time that PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is still very early in development, and only 8 characters have been revealed thus far. So who do we have lining up this roster? Coming in at number 1 is Kratos, God of War. Now, I'm a huge fan of the God of War series. And since the God of War series was made by the good fellas at Santa Monica Studios, it only makes sense to have him in this game. I think it is the popular opinion that Kratos' greatest strength is being an ultimate badass. And then we have Sly Cooper, whose greatest asset is being sneaky. I mean, he's a raccoon that breaks into heavily fortified structures and steals shit. Do you really need more than that? Then you have male Radic from the Killzone franchise. I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't played Killzone as much as I have other franchises. But seeing as how Killzone is such a big part of Sony's platform, it only makes sense to have him in the game. And of course we've got Sweet Tooth, whose biggest asset as far as I can tell is being a homicidal maniac. You realize that Sweet Tooth has killed a lot of people. A lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be kinda weird seeing him out of his ice cream truck. Fat Princess. And of course you've got Parappa the Rapper. Now ultimately, one of the stranger choices on this list, but I loved playing Parappa the Rapper back in the day. Obviously he's got his kung fu moves. Kinda weird, I don't know what they're gonna do with Parappa the Rapper. Of course you got Nathan Drake. He steals from tombs and always gets the ladies. Aside from stealing some of the world's rarest artifacts from some of the most dangerous tombs out there, Nathan Drake's greatest strength is being able to absorb copious amounts of bullets without dying. And I'm a huge fan of the Uncharted series, and I'm so glad that Naughty Dog, in all their infinite wisdom, gave Sony permission to use the character of Nathan Drake in this game. And of course, the other big reveal is the Big Daddy. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I'm a huge fan of the BioShock series. You know, the Big Daddy's not exactly known for being the quickest character out there. Actually, that's not true. The Big Daddies are actually pretty quick. It's only when you piss them off that they get quick. But I think it's a fantastic inclusion into the series, and I can't wait to play as the Big Daddy. So now that we know who we have in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, the real question becomes now, who do we want? Now, up at the top of my list, it would have to be Solid Snake. Predominantly known for being the hero in most of the Metal Gear Solid games. I think a lot of people are demanding him to be in the game. Now, I like to think that Solid Snake is more known for stealth as opposed to combat. So it'll be interesting to see what the guys at Superbot Entertainment decide to give Solid Snake should they include him in their game. Second on the list, Kromograph, Infamous. You know, this one is such an obvious choice, it's almost embarrassing. Chromograph's greatest strength is the ability to manipulate electricity with his hands. You got the ability to throw electrical grenades, you got the ability to shock people, he can fly. Of course there's the Thunder Drop, and of course the electrical slide. Now, seeing as how Sly Cooper is already included in the game, I don't think it would be much of a stretch for the guys at Sucker Punch to include Kromograph from Infamous. The next one on the list is obviously one of the more obvious choices that should be in the game, and that is Ratchet and Clank. First obvious hint is the fact that we saw Quark being eaten by the Hydra monster. But the second biggest clue is that the stage for the E3 demo was obviously a level from Ratchet and Clank. Now, whether or not they'll have Ratchet and Clank as a duel or as separate characters, time can only tell. But I'm hopeful that these characters will be in PlayStation All-Stars. Now, following up on Ratchet and Clank, I would also like to see Jak and Daxter as playable characters. Obviously, Jak and Daxter are more combat heavy as opposed to gun heavy. I kind of like to think of Jak and Daxter as kind of the Mario and Luigi of the Sony platform. You know, they like to get up close and personal when it comes to kicking the asses of enemies. And while not as popular on the PS3 than they were on the PS2, I think they would be welcome additions in this game. Now, I'm a little ashamed to say it, but I do kind of want to see Sackboy in this game. Sackboy is obviously known for being the star of the Little Big Planet series. In past demos for PlayStation All-Stars, we've actually seen a Little Big Planet level with the characters fighting on screen. And it's not such a stretch to think that he'll actually be in this game as well. Now, as much as I want Sackboy to be in this game, I really don't know how they do it. I mean, I just can't imagine a Sackboy versing a Big Daddy. It just doesn't mesh. Even so, I kind of still want to see this character in the game. And as my final choice for characters to be in PlayStation All-Stars, it would have to go to Crash Bandicoot. Now, I know it's a little old school, but for me, Crash Bandicoot was one of my favorite characters growing up playing video games. And seeing as how Crash Bandicoot was done by the same guys who did Uncharted, I don't think it would take a lot to convince them to have him in the game. Not only one of my favorite characters on the PlayStation, but also one of my favorite characters in video games in general. Now, I'm very interested to know which characters you want to see in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Do you agree with some of my picks? Do you disagree? I want to hear from you, so put a comment in my channel. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. As always, feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel.